not reading the room. We promised pomp and ceremony on steroids to mark this year's SONA.
There was one in a chimney. There was one in a panel van. I think those are three.
The ominous body trail of a suspected serial killer and hundreds of thousands of people are still homeless 1 year after the Turkiye quake. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
If you think Parliament would be sensitive to South Africa's tough economic reality, think again. National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula says no pomp and ceremony will be spared on Thursday evening when President Cyril Ramaphosa delivers his final State of the Nation address of this 5-year parliamentary term. The budgeted 6.5 million rand occasion coincides with Parliament marking 30 years of democracy. All former presidents and deputy presidents and House speakers have been invited to attend. This is the third year the event is being held at the Cape Town City Hall after the National Assembly chamber was gutted by fire 2 years ago.
Our journey has not been without challenges, but it is through these challenges that we have matured and strengthened our resolve to build a united and prosperous South Africa.
The economic freedom fighters returned to the Western Cape High Court today to force Parliament to allow Julius Malema, his deputy Floyd Shivambu, and 4 other MPs to attend the State of the Nation address. The party wants the decision by the National Assembly to adopt a report suspending them in the month of February to be set aside, arguing it denies its more than 1 million voters the right to be represented there. Judgment in that matter has been reserved.
And it was this particular court that said Parliament has no such a right because members of Parliament are sent by the citizens and therefore they do not have a right to remove members of Parliament from Parliament.
The EFF also sought an interdict on the new joint rules, but this application was dismissed. Some good stats here for the democratic process. The Electoral Commission says more than 400,000 new participants registered to vote for the upcoming elections over the last weekend. The IEC has been giving an update on its final registration drive that took place on Saturday and Sunday. It says 2 million engagements were recorded over the weekend through the online portal and visits to registration stations. This brings the voters' roll to 27.4 million in the country for the first time since the start of the democratic elections.
There's been great strides made to ameliorate the historical underrepresentation of young persons in that age category.
Mark Khumalo, father of alleged serial killer Sifiso Mkhwanazi, continued his bombshell testimony against his son today at the Johannesburg High Court sitting in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court. Mkhwanazi currently faces 6 charges of murder, 7 of rape and a litany of other charges. Mkhwanazi has reportedly admitted to committing the murders. Khumalo was requested by lead state prosecutor to walk the court through the discovery of the remaining 5 bodies after detailing how the first body was discovered in yesterday's proceedings.
There was one in a chimney. There was one in a panel van. I think those are 3. The first one inside the premises, the one in a chimney, and the one in a van. The fourth one was in the Interstar, the Nissan, that Baki, the one which was we break. That's the 5th one, eh? Was it the 4th or 5th? How many are those?
So if you want to know why serial killers behave the way they do and why they are so prevalent in South Africa, go to the EWN app under the multimedia section. Gift of the Givers has been inundated with calls for help from people in the Klein Karoo. The humanitarian aid group says a freak storm on Saturday affected at least 7 Eskom and cell phone towers. Lanesburg, Prince Albert and Leo Gamka are among the town's hardest hit.
Health facilities, schools, clinics and old age homes have been left without water since Saturday. We have been called by the Western Cape disaster risk management teams, healthcare facility managers and community members asking for our urgent intervention. We are engaging with the relevant authorities and Eskom officials to see when power will be restored.
A year ago today, this happened. An earthquake in Turkiye that devastated the country, wiping out towns, homes, and killing more than 59,000 people there and in Syria. Antakya was the worst affected of the 11 southern provinces hit by the magnitude 7.8 earthquake. Today, a moment of silence was held at 4:17 a.m. to mark the moment the tragedy happened. Some of the mourning turned to anger over the slow pace of rebuilding, with many thousands still homeless. We'll see you for more again tomorrow. Just remember to download the EWN app, which can be found at any app store.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.